Coin traders, what is going on? How we doing? Algo fam, ALGO on that ticker is what we're looking at. Kind of a little frustrated right now because I actually had a big long show recorded on a bunch of in-depth analysis stuff, but I actually realized I did forget to hit the record button. So lost all of that content and all of the ideas, but going to be doing a short summarized highlight version for everyone right now, especially since we have a lot of nice upside growth for Algorand right now in the short term. So I actually want to first flip over into a tweet that I made earlier, talking about how every time we have seen RSI for the daily on Algo get barely overbought, or not barely, but over into the above 70 line, we see quick movements to the upside and then also quick retracements back down below the 70 line. And we'd see this time and time again, where we don't actually see a lot of time where the price for Algo actually sticks high enough to make this RSI stay a little bit longer. So we know that each one of these is a quick little spike, and then we do typically get a retracement of about 15% or more on every single time that we have seen this. So again, if you're not currently following me over here on Twitter or X, drop me a follow at coin_trades is the handle. Looking forward to staying updated and chatting with everyone over there. So if we go ahead and pull this up really quick, you can see that we are starting to retrace right now, and typically that is the sign that we do start to see a pullback. The last time we actually saw the daily's RSI actually was just off the start of the year, where we had the very nice upside move for a couple of weeks and a very nice steady uptrend. So kind of what we're looking at right now as well, where we do have for a couple of weeks, or essentially looking at about 13 days. So yeah, about 2 weeks or so, obviously with just one small, and you can see very small volume as well, but otherwise very nice upside move. And so from the bottom, actually looking at a very nice growth and gain of about almost 30% on the current move here. So are looking for a little bit of retracement right now. So what would we actually expect? Well, the current level of support based off previous levels of support on the summer over here is actually going to be coming in at 10.5. So if we do retrace to that level, would be a nice sign. Otherwise, down to potentially the 10.22 level, down to potentially 10.63. Now, if we actually go ahead and draw a Fibonacci retracement level from the swing low of about 8.8 cents up to the current trend high right now at about 11.4, what we're looking at is a 38.2% retracement right at that 10.4 cent level, which fits very nicely in that zone. So if we can see a very nice defense, that's a good target for a little bit more continuation consolidation, which should lead to a nice defense and a follow-on breakout bullish if we can confirm this as a nice flag type pattern or even a longer pennant. Now, if we actually flip over to the weekly, few things that I do want to talk about, and I have made tweets about this before, is how we were seeing the lowest volumes that we've actually seen since the middle of 2020. And keep in mind too, that's when supply was only about 1 billion. So compared to about a supply now, circulating supply of about 8 billion, we're actually looking at extremely low volumes here. And so the fact that we have seen a sell-off move taper down with the lowest amount of volume that we've seen in about 3 years or over 3 years, we know that that's a very good sign to help confirm that this is a longer-term bottom shaping up, especially since we have hit our low, made a higher high, higher low, and then now recently a higher high. So on this weekly chart as well, we are also now finally above this 12-period exponential moving average with a very nice close on the weekly, as well as a defense and a continuation follow-through. So the next target that we are looking at that we haven't seen close in over a year, about 2 years, is actually the upside move right around the target of about 1058, which is coming in at the 26-period exponential moving average, which also would align nicely with an upside overhead resistance target right at about 11.89 or 11.9 cents. So even if we do get a little bit more continuation and follow through, this is going to be extremely strong resistance overhead that we would expect the pullback and retracement to end up meeting up at. But like we said, with week over week increasing bullish volume right now and being just over a day into the current weekly chart, at almost a quarter of the previous week's volume, we should be on track to see another follow-on great bullish week with increasing bullish volume, showing a little bit more strength in this upside move. Now looking at the 2-day chart really quick, the great thing that we're looking at right now is just specifically the 12 and 26 period exponential moving averages, especially with the 50 period now providing defense and seeing follow through on top of that. But specifically, if we look at the 12 and the 26 here, very nice move after confirming resistance, closing on top of both of these levels, confirming for 2 days, two-day candles in a row of a very nice closing level of support on top of 26, and then follow through. And so if we go ahead and look at the gap between all these exponential moving averages too, this is about the closest that we have seen since the spring, where we actually failed to get follow through after breaking the 50-period exponential moving average. So right now we are setting up for a really nice sign, especially since we are on top of this pretty strong trend line. So even if we do get stuck up overhead at some of these resistance points in the longer charts, a pullback and retracement, especially for a little bit of the longer term here, while we do establish and consolidate on top of some of these previous resistance and now support levels, would be one of the best things, especially allowing these exponential moving averages to catch up and make that full bullish cross, which we actually haven't fully seen since we have been in the overall ultimate bull market. Now, we have gotten close a few times on this algo chart, but overall, we haven't actually seen a full bullish cross with the 12, the 26, and then the 50 on bottom, especially after confirming and backtesting support and providing follow through, which would mean that the path of least resistance is then to the upside. So that's the ideal scenario that we are looking at here as we do establish and look to confirm support in the coming days and weeks here, because right now things are in favor for the bulls and a little bit more of that upside, especially after breaking previous resistance levels, which were previous support, reclaiming those levels. So now an establishment and backtest to reconfirm those levels is going to be essential and critical. So like we said, we might not have seen the end of the upside rally just yet, but we do know that when we do get oversold or overbought, levels on that RSI, that typically we do see a pretty steep and quick retracement, which would mean a test of some of those lower supports. So that is what we're going to keep our eye out for right now. The good news is that we would actually have to retrace a long way in order to now make a new lower low on this Algorand chart and continue a longer term downtrend. So right now, favoritism is leaning towards the bulls. Despite pulling back, we would be leaning most likely setting a higher low, which would be on path, and especially once these exponential moving averages roll over, to then see a higher high and target some of these previous levels that we were looking at as highs on this initial move, coming off of our low move and flush that we had back in June. So although it is still really early, we do know that we have seen a lot of bottoming signals, and that pretty much a lot of the calls for anything bottoming out below the all-time lows substantially, like down to the 5-cent level, like I've seen a lot of calls for, are extremely unlikely in this instance. And yeah, hopefully everyone's been making nice longer-term entries around this level, because especially after over 2 years of pullback, it's nice to finally see a little bit of favoritism and good signs for a longer-term, nice potential bullish market coming up here in the future, in the coming year. But yeah, sorry for the a little abbreviated show. Hopefully everyone's still got enough information and value out of it. If you didn't, please go ahead and reach out to me over on Twitter at coin_trades. Once again, drop me a follow over there. Looking forward to syncing up with everyone over there. Also, drop me a comment down in the notes, and I do love chatting with everyone down in the comment sections on the video as well. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you have not done so just yet. Hope you're all doing well. Stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you back in the next video.